Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lit in a Minute. Today I'm going to talk about this novel by Jhumpa Lahiri, The Lowland, published in 2013 and won for Jhumpa Lahiri a Pulitzer Prize. So why this book? I think what's more accurate is to ask, why am I connected to this book? Why am I drawn to this book? I've read this book 3 times now. Yes, 3 times. Perhaps because it has stayed with me. Because every time I read it, it elicits different kinds of emotions, triggers new emotional, psychological journey. It continues to affect me, even after reading it for the 3rd time recently for my women's literature course under the theme Rage. Women's rage, the rage of a woman and how it is expressed. How do we find it? What is it about when we read about a woman's rage in literature, in fiction? Jhumpa Lahiri creates very memorable characters, very complex characterizations, but as creator of these characters, she has empathy for them. Whether what they're doing is stereotypically bad or negative or evil or positive or good, she challenges us to go beyond these boundaries. She challenges our notions of what is being a good woman, especially through Gowrie. And the first time I read The Lowland, I understood Gowrie, especially at the level of my feminist politics. I accepted her decisions, although deep inside, she really unsettled me. There was something that she disturbed within me, but I was able to understand her rage. And as I've said, every time I read it, it elicits a different kind of journey. I gain something new, new insight, new understanding. The second time I read this novel for my female novelist class, I felt understanding. I understood what her rage was about, but I also felt so sad. I felt sad for people, for women who's so embroiled in that rage because of all the griefs, all the situations that have caused that grief expressed as rage. As I've said, there's a history behind this rage, and this is what I again discussed in my recent women's literature course. And I asked my students, what is the history of Gowrie's rage? When she was married to Udayan, her recurring nightmare was that they had not met, that he had not come into her life. In those moments returned the conviction she'd had before knowing him, that she would live her life alone. She had hated those first disorienting moments after waking up in their bed in Toliganj, inches away from him, still cloistered in an alternate world in which they had nothing to do with one another, even as he held her in his arms. She'd known him only for a few years, only beginning to discover who he was, but in another way, she had known him practically all her life. After his death began the internal knowledge that came from remembering him, still trying to make sense of him, of both missing and resenting him. Without that, there would be nothing to haunt her, no grief. She wonders what he might have looked like now, how he would have aged, the illnesses he might have suffered, the diseases to which he might have succumbed. She tries to imagine the flat stomach softening, gray hairs on his chest. In all her life, apart from when Subhash asked, And the day she told Otherwise, she has not spoken to a single person about what had happened to him. No one else knows to ask what had happened in Calcutta in the last years of his life, what she'd seen from the terrace in Tollygunge, what she had done for him because he had asked.